Panther, what up? I'm going to let you know what it's going to take for me to feel good about this team. You're watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins, where the Carolina Panthers lose their home opener on Monday Night Football. Bryce Young's first game at home in the regular season is in primetime national television. And unlike what he did in Alabama, he did not show up. I think he was 152 in the air for a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. He also had a fumble for a defensive recovery on that one. So another turnover for him. So that's two straight games of turnovers for Bryce Young. He did have some poise towards the last one that led to the touchdown there to Adam Thielen and the 2-point conversion there with number 19. But you could argue that that was against the Saints defense that basically knew that they had the game in hand, and it was, glorified prevent defense. So we'll do that. But let's give the flowers right now to the defense. Firstly, notable that all the beat reporters are confirming that we probably saw in the first quarter that Shaq Thompson, who was carted off, is going to be out indefinitely with a significant ankle injury. So I read shin. Frank Reich said ankle. So who knows what it is? He's out for an indefinite amount of time. And so Frankie Lou was saying prayers out to number 7 that they said they got his back. Hopefully he does come back. Again, one of the veterans on the team, but he is just as valuable off the field that he is on the field. But it was, somewhat promising that the defense still showed out throughout the game, the best that they could, despite this vanilla offense that I'm going to be talking about in a couple seconds. But so now we got J.C. Horn on IR right now, so he's missing at least 4 games. And then you got Shaq Thompson out indefinitely, and at his advanced age, that could mean the rest of the season. So we're going to have to see a whole bunch more of Frankie Louvu, Grieger Hill, and Deion Jones, who just got picked up during the week. Could be seeing some playing time with the Carolina Panthers after they dropped him after the preseason. So next man up in that situation, but definitely kudos to the defense. Justin Houston, who had a pretty darn good game for the defense as well. He was somewhat quiet against Atlanta in week 1, so he did great. Von Bell with the interception, so shouts to him. So the defense definitely gave the offense its opportunities, but they just, as we know, just could not make something out of it. But the defense is going to keep this team in games. But let's talk about the offense. Let's talk about the offense. The offense is more vanilla. It seems like the offense is more vanilla in the regular season than it was in the preseason. And that was the big talk during the preseason that, maybe Frank Reich and company are just keeping things, under lock and key in the preseason. They don't want to give too much away. They want to give away all our superpowers in the preseason. They want to open it up in the regular season when it actually matters. And that's why they're being so vanilla and so conservative, and they're protecting Bryce Young. And how hard it must be to be protecting Bryce Young, who's this Ferrari of a brain as a quarterback, and they can't wait to unleash him. And we're all worried. Hey, are they giving too much to Bryce Young? Are they giving too much to Bryce Young? In the preseason, presumably in the regular season, that he's just not going to be able to handle it. It's going to be too much. It's going to be too much for him. It's not enough for him. I don't think it's enough for him. I don't think it's enough for fans. I think the vanilla shop, like if this is an ice cream shop, if the preseason was just like a soft launch of the offense and all they served was vanilla ice cream just to see if the electricity and the cashiers work, and and the refrigerators and the freezers all work, and now it's regular season, it's time to time for business, and they're still serving vanilla ice cream. They're still serving vanilla ice cream. There's no chocolate, there's no mint, there's no super kid, there's no bubble gum, there's nothing. There's not even coconut. There's not pistachio. It's just still vanilla. I don't know if it's a vanilla thing because of the personnel, or they don't trust the personnel, so they're calling vanilla plays because they don't think that the personnel can execute them, or they are trying to execute, pizzazz chocolate chip cookie dough plays, but because of the personnel, they are not being executed properly because the offense is not built for that offense. And I think someone tweeted out, and again, Twitter's not a real place. I think someone tweeted out, when's this all-star coaching staff with 200 to 300 years experience actually going to start coaching? Trying to find a way to maximize the personnel that we have on this team to try to give Bryce Young the best landscape to succeed. Because right now, having Laviska Shenault being that Deebo Samuel Swiss Army knife type player once, and not scheming ways to get our one burner in DJ Chark, who's coming off a hamstring injury, open. How that's not happening is beyond me. It doesn't make any sense. One of the Panthers Instagrams, obviously it's cherry picking, but Panthers are literally almost in the red zone. They're knocking on the door, and all the wide receivers, it just seems to be they're all swimming, they're all running in mud, and it's turf. It should be technically faster, but no one's getting open. Absolutely nobody is getting open. The only one who got open was Hayden Hurst, but that's only because the safety ditched to try to run after Bryce, who was scrambling and ended up getting sacked for a loss for a 3rd and long. And it's brutal to see. I don't know if they thought that DJ Chark was going to be the only burner and that the guy with the injury history was going to remain healthy because he got into the South. I have no idea. But there's something, and it's not just me. It's not just me. And I'm not there. I'm at home. I'm in Toronto. But Dan Orlovsky, who was there at Bank of America Stadium, said they got to get a playmaker. They got to get these chunk plays. It is not sustainable in this league to dink and dunk 5 to 10, 15 yards, maybe 15 yards, but 5 to 10 yards, to the sidelines every single passing play and try to win on a weekly basis in the NFL, or he said at any level, Remember, we got coaches who got NFL experience. We're not talking about Matt Rule and company who've got college experience. We got guys who have NFL experience. And there's you can't win at any level without explosive plays. And we saw that with the New Orleans Saints, who didn't have many. They had the long ball, the crazy catch, Chris Olave against C.J. Henderson. That's an acrobatic, like blue chip wide receiver type catch. One hand, two hand, bang, diving. It was C.J. Henderson. I think it was C.J. Henderson that he caught it on. But that is a Pro Bowler type catch. And then they had their wide receiver running back. I don't know what position he is. He's wearing number 22, and he's not Christian McCaffrey. But, that was a big chunk play there. And, then you can always kind of sprinkle in a Taysom Hill run here or there to, carry a couple Carolina Panthers defenders with him. But those are the chunk plays that helped them win the game. Obviously, Bryce Young did have that fumble recovery. That was brutal, especially deep in their own zone. But, at least he cut that in half from 2 turnovers to 1. Maybe against Seattle, it'll be to 0. But I think that led to points. I don't think it did. I think the defense, again, shouts to the defense. I think they bailed the offense out in that situation. Of course, that offensive drive by the Panthers was given by the Carolina Panthers with the interception by Von Bell. But, the Saints had the explosive plays, and that's what led to the game going New Orleans' way. The Carolina Panthers had 0 explosive plays. It seemed like Chuba Hubbard, a guy who I didn't even know was going to even make the roster, is the chunk play guy. It's coming from our running backs. And obviously, you're probably yelling at the jerseys right behind me now. We don't have explosive chunk play capable players because we traded them all. So we traded Christian McCaffrey, who was that big play, make, chicken salad out of chicken crap. We had that guy. We let him go. DJ Moore, who was the yards after the catch king for the Carolina Panthers, we let him go in order to get Bryce Young. So you had to give away some to get some. And yeah, we don't have that right now in the offense. Like, again, it seems like I was telling my brother, who's a Seattle Seahawks guy, and he's lucky. He's got some game-breaking players. But the Carolina Panthers right now, it seems like everyone's a possession-type player. DJ Chark right now with his hammy, not a burner right now. He's not creating elite separation. Adam Thielen came in. I already knew he's going to be a move-the-chain guy. He's not going to be bringing the top off the defense. TMJ, where the hell was he? Jonathan Mingo had moments. He and Bryce Young in that last touchdown drive had some nice moments. But again, the caveat there was that the Saints defense, I don't know if they were actually playing as pressured as they were throughout the entire game. They probably, luxury prevent defense right there. But Jonathan Mingo did have some moments. But again, he's not losing anybody right now. And then Terrace Marshall, where the hell was he? I have no idea. He's just a body. I don't know what to take from him ever. And then Hayden Hurst has his tough moments where he gets, he bails out Bryce Young best he could. But really, it's Bryce Young and the running back show. That's basically what it is. And it is brutal to watch. And it was quite a stark difference going from that to the other Monday Night Football game where wide receivers, like even some of the older guys, even with the Cleveland Browns, were getting separation, like insane separation. And also just watching Chris Olave, just seeing how open that guy gets, the speed that he has just to get away from the DB to give their quarterback ample amount of space. It seems like, and the analysts were saying this on Monday Night Football for ESPN, that Bryce Young, every single one of his throws is a contested catch. Like the offense feels like latter Cam Newton years when Cam Newton's shoulder was destroyed and he couldn't move the ball down the field. That's what it feels like. And they also said this in the broadcast, how they had a reporter on the Saints sideline and someone was standing by Derek Carr, the reporter was, and they saw the Bank of America Panther faithful were booing the offense because of, Bryce Young just unable to just really find a rhythm with the rest of the wide receivers. And then they reported that Derek Carr was shaking his head, kind of talking to himself, but towards the fans, like, man, these people have no idea how hard this actually is. And I totally agree. I am just an idiot fan. I am a armchair quarterback. I have never played in the league, never played quarterback in any level at any point. I'm terrible at NFL Madden as a quarterback. I'm absolutely awful. Um, so I get that. I know it's hard, but that's the beauty of it. We get to talk about this right now. We're fans. This is part of therapy. We're just talking about this together. But Bryce Young's just not playing well enough. He said himself he's not executing. Um, there were some throws there where I'd like to say the wide receiver could have gotten open, but Bryce Young just did not get on the money. There's a bit too much velocity there. He had some moments where it was Jonathan Mingo, again, just overshot him completely, just open shots. And he is scrambling, running way more than I want him to. Like, he is a passer. And, whether it's, analysts in the booths, analysts on the Twitter machine, guys who do this for a living, it seems like everyone's kind of on the same page here. Bryce needs playmakers, and I give the parallels with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins, maybe more so the Miami Dolphins and Cincinnati Bengals, because they got a shorter quarterback out of Alabama and Tua Tagovailoa, where injury concerns have always been a thing. He broke his hip in college. You guys remember that? And it took I think he's in year 3 now. It took up into year 3 for them to hook him up with. Well, year 2, they got him with Tyreek Hill. They got Jalen Waddle. They hooked that up with him. So it took into year 2 at his time, and a tumultuous time with the Miami Dolphins. Remember, they tried to get Tom Brady into there, right? And Deshaun Watson. And so Tua's never really been the guy for a full season in Miami. And it took until year 2, year 3-ish for them to really surround him with offensive talent. Joe Burrow, first year as a rookie, kind of learning the ropes there, learning what he didn't have, just kind of eating, plain old crackers. Now they dropped in Jamar Chase. It's like, oh, okay, I got some guys now. T. Higgins is making he's making a rise as well. And so it takes time to surround the players, especially when you gave up the good players to get the picks, to get that quarterback who hopefully lead you down the way. So I know the player is there. Obviously, there's going to be some growing pains. We show what happens when, the defense loosens up a little bit. But the thing is, and I think it was Daniel Jeremiah saying that right now it's half court basketball for the Carolina Panthers. It is half court because the defense, there's no single high safeties. There's nothing. They do not fear anybody. Before, they feared this guy. They maybe fear DJ Moore a little bit with the long ball as well. But really, for the Carolina Panthers offense, personnel-wise, they fear nobody. And as an idiot armchair quarterback in the offseason, I thought, you can't cover everybody. You can't double everybody. Someone's going to get free, right? Someone's going to have to get free and then have the ball find them and then make a play because you're in the pros. But even with the way defenses are playing, no one's getting free. Nobody. But we have seen what happens when the Panthers even tried to go downfield. When they try to go downfield, good things happen. Pass attempted for DJ Chark down the sideline. It looked like, I don't know how much air yardage it actually traveled, maybe 20, 30, 25 yards. Pass interference, move the chain. Like, that is what happens when you start challenging defense down the field. You have to start respecting you a little bit. And Bryce Young, we know he's got the arm and he's got the accuracy, and he had pretty good protection. And as I said in the last episode, it's a cycle, right? If the wide receivers aren't getting open, Bryce Young has to wait to try to find the proper opening because he doesn't want to get another pick back to back, Jesse Bates style getting baited. And so he has to wait for somebody to get open, and that is more pressure on the offensive line. Eventually, they're up against pros too. Cam Jordan and company, they're going to put some pressure on the offensive line, and then boom, you're going to have pressure sacks. And so it's an offensive ecosystem that is just not jiving right now. And Frank Reich was asked by Sheena Quick, how do you feel about still calling plays? Thomas Brown's there, you would think, in the preseason at least, the offense moved a little bit better, moved at a little bit of a higher clip, more efficiency. Mind you, again, that was against second and third and fourth string defensive players, but still, it had a little bit different vibe to it. And Frank Reich said that, this is not something he's going to change during the game, but he doesn't see a problem with the offense. He sees the offense is still going to be moving, and he sees that it's on pace. He says the building blocks are there for them to score 28 to 30 points a game. It is only week 2 of his first time with the team. Bryce Young's second start of his career. Frank Reich, second week as the head coach in the regular season of the Carolina Panthers. But it seems like Jerry Evero's coaching his team up. It seems like he's coaching the defense up. Offense got to do something. We got Deuce Staley, you got Jim Caldwell, you got Thomas Brown, you got Frank Reich. You got all these guys. What the hell is being said in the sidelines? What the heck is being said in the week beforehand? We're going to have less than a week now because they're going up against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. I am missing that game. It makes me very sad, but they have 6 days. It's a late window game, so maybe a little bit more time than it would have been an early window game, but something needs to be tweaked to try to just scheme guys. The offense just seems so slow, old-fashioned, boring. And that sucks because we have a young, smart quarterback and we have a young, smart offensive coordinator, and they need to work something out because they're 0-2. They were 1-5 last year, and they were just a game away trying to make the playoffs. So it's a long season. Injuries happen. We've seen that now. Nick Chubb, all the best to him. Looks like he hurt the same knee that he obliterated almost everything in there. So it's even a miracle that he's been playing right now. But injuries happen. I think a lot of stars went down this weekend, and so things happen. Like we live in a world where Baker Mayfield is winning the Angry Runs trophy, and his team is 2-0. That was the team we thought was going to be tanking. They're not. It doesn't look like it right now. Mathematically, they're not. So a lot of things can change. And I don't know if in-season trades can happen. I don't know what assets. The one that sticks in my mind right now is Jeremy Chin because he's getting outplayed right now, at least on the field, making more plays that capture the TV's attention. He's not making as many as a guy like a Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu is somebody you can keep, but if there's a place, change of scene for someone like Jeremy Chin who doesn't seem to be doing anything and he's moving positions, I don't know what's going down with that. Some defensive-minded people want to tell me that maybe he's being more efficient on the field. That's something I just can't see. It's something you can't see on a box score or in an actual game itself. I don't know. But I don't know what pieces are out there that the Carolina Panthers can actually use as bargaining tools. But something needs to change. Some offensive skill position player needs to be added to this team. Either this season or it's going to be a tough season this year unless they can scheme something up to get guys open. Either two options here. Ride with the guys we got, scheme them open, and hopefully Bryce Young is this, brainiac that we think he is, have been sold that he is, and just get the receiver that the play is designed to, and guys get open, scheme open, or make a trade for a burner. I don't know who, but if the front office thinks that there's no point to do this right now because they're not looking to contend right now, then that's it. I guess I have a feeling it's just sit back and just let Bryce learn, take his lumps in this year, and use the guys we got, scheme them up, coach them up, and make the best we got. And then next season, you add those pieces either in a draft, free agency, trade, and improve on that. This is where DeAndre Hopkins would have been nice for Bryce Young because he's still that veteran who can get open, who's still got that gas a little bit. But I think this is what we're rolling with, because if they start trading away assets, thinking that they can compete now for burners and playmakers, explosive players, and it not happen, now you're even further back on building this team. So pressure's on a couple people. Pressure's on the coaching staff for sure. The highly paid, highly touted, highly applauded coaching staff, even before a single snap was taken in the regular season, they got to make something happen during the time practice between now and Seattle and during the game. They got to make those adjustments to try to scheme guys open. Like, why is Laviska Shenault the only one running the ball once? Why is he running the ball once? Why are we always running screens? There's got to be a better way to try to get guys open. That's one. And number two, pressure's on Bryce Young to not make mistakes. Stop turning the ball over in key moments. Stop with these, like, he had 2 picks last week. Now he had a fumble. Just limit the mistakes on him. There's pressure on him and pressure on the wide receivers here. People saying in the offseason, this is the worst surrounding core. I didn't believe them, but now they're kind of proving them right because they can't get open. Even the analysts are seeing that the guys who are in the bank watching it with their eyes, they can't get open. They can't get explosive plays. You cannot win in this league or any level of football if you can't get open. So pressure's on a lot of people entering week 3 and against a not easy opponent in Seattle who just beat the Detroit Lions in overtime. And I'll be tuning in though. I'm working, but I'm tuning in, and you better too, because that's what we're here for, baby. As I said in the last video, this is for the real fans. The fans of the bank, I will say, at least from here, they got loud. They got loud when the Saints offense got there. I'm living vicariously through you. You guys did it. It actually looked pretty dang good here on TV. You guys look great. Keep doing that when they go back to the bank. And also, if you guys are traveling to Seattle, let them have it. See you guys soon.